Hey funnel builders, Mike here from Sell Your Service, and in this video I want to talk to you about why there is no such thing as a profitable niche. In this video I want to talk about the biggest lie told about niches, especially towards marketing builders and marketing funnel builders like yourself, as well as how to find a niche that does work and why certain niches don't work and why not every niche is profitable, just like we constantly are told. And also, I want to show you about how to become number one in any given marketplace. I'm going to show you the little trick to doing that and how I managed to become the world's number one sales coach for funnel builders. So the big problem is that most of us want to increase our prices. This might be one of the reasons that we're looking towards creating a niche or finding a niche, because we want to increase the average transaction value per customer. Something that someone once told me, and I apologize, I don't know the quote exactly, is general audiences attract general pay. If you're not specific about who it is that you go after, it's very difficult to raise your prices. As soon as you are the number one player in a niche, you're able to raise your prices and charge more just because you are the only player in that market. So if you want to raise your prices, going after a niche is a very sensible thing to do, but it's not the way that you think it is. We also want to be able to, of course, attract more customers and generate more sales. This is just something across the board. We're all looking to increase the number of customers that we work with, attract more customers, generate more sales, close more leads into sales, generate more income, and combined with having higher prices, this gives us a stronger business model and a more robust kind of financial plan in the future, and potentially even recurring revenue. And creating a niche and finding a niche for your business is a fantastic way to do that. But remember, not all niches are profitable. Here's what's most important is the difference between discovering a niche and discovering a profitable niche. This is something that you want to find, and the word that I use is create, and a lot of people use the word find. And I'm going to talk about why that is and the difference between creating a niche and finding a niche, because they're two very different things. You want to discover a profitable niche. That's ultimately what we're trying to do, is create a niche, as opposed to kind of stumbling across one that's already there and already filled with customers. I think there's a huge misconception that somewhere out there in the world is a group of people with just wads of cash waiting to buy. And that's how the niche is often positioned to us, particularly as marketing businesses and funnel builders, is we're told out there somewhere is a group of people with a load of cash who will become customers, who are waiting to buy from you if you put the right offer in front of them. And that is grade A bullshit. A niche is not a market that you go after. If you find and discover a group of people who are willing to buy, they are probably already being sold to. The difference is in creating a niche. And this is the big difference that you need to understand. Your job is to create a niche. It's not something you go after, it's something that you become. And if you can understand that, hopefully with the rest of this video, we can explain how to do that. You'll find that the potential and the opportunities for finding and creating these different niches out there is far more profitable than just stumbling across something that someone else has already defined. Another point is that a niche is not an industry. Most people say that, oh yeah, we have a niche, we have a defined customer, we like to go after service-based businesses. And I'm like, okay, that equates for maybe 50% of all businesses that are out there. So that's not really a niche, is it? Or they'll say, oh yeah, we go after the manufacturing industry, or I want to work with solicitors or lawyers or accountants. And the problem is that there are so many differences between one set of accountants and another. Someone who runs a single person freelance accountancy business is an accountant, and then you have Price Waterhouse Cooper, you know, what are you able to do for both of those businesses? An industry is not a niche. And although we do touch on using an industry as a framework for being able to go after the types of customers that you want, it's not the industry that's the niche. Don't get caught in the trap of thinking an industry is a niche, because it's not. There's no way that you can be a funnel builder for the manufacturing industry or the tourism industry. There have to be more defined characteristics that we'll talk about in a little bit that will create your niche for you. So these are the three kind of points that I want to cover. First of all, most people jump from opportunity to opportunity. This is why niches become unprofitable, because people keep jumping from niche to niche to niche. You must identify with your niche and audience, as in you've got to physically become a part of it and attract them to that niche, and then let them self-identify as that niche. and you become number one in the market at something you create. And this was what helped me become, at one point, the world's number one WordPress lead generation specialist, and then now becoming the world's number one sales specialist or sales coach for funnel builders. And most people jump from opportunity to opportunity. This is why most niches aren't profitable. If I gave you 3 niches, well-defined niches where I knew that the market could support you, it would be profitable, it would be customers willing to buy, most people will take one niche, they'll decide to go after a niche, and let's off the top of my head say that we're going to go after SaaS businesses that create money-saving apps for their phones, and they want to convert free users into paying users. That's a niche, right? That's an example of a niche. It's a specific result or a specific problem for a group of people that no one else wants to serve, and you go after that market. And yeah, there might only be 100 companies in the world that do that, but that's fine. Going after those micro markets is fine. People will work at that, they won't find enough depth, and they'll struggle to get any traction, so they'll jump on the next niche, they'll jump on the next bandwagon, and they'll go after alcohol companies that are looking to, increase their supplier relationships through email marketing and reduce their account manager expenditure. Okay, that might be another niche that you're going to go after, and then they find out that after 6 months that doesn't work, and they jump onto the next one and the next one. Anyone who knows me knows that I have this analogy of carving steps into the side of a mountain, and your job is to do the same thing every single day until you reach the top of that mountain. That's why you find success. Other people talk about the niche as this gold mine, and I think it's a great analogy because gold mines only work when you find the ore and you continue to dig, you continue to mine and go down. You don't find the surface level gold and just are happy with that and move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. You have to dig deep, or in the mountain case, you have to keep going until you reach the top. And I think a lot of people jump from opportunity to opportunity because they think they're not gaining traction, and they're mistaking, growing their brand and getting a reputation. And it's interesting because lots of businesses want to have a brand reputation. They talk about, oh, we love to have a brand and grow our business and grow our brand. And yet as they're doing it, they get bored with it and they move on to the other area to get other traction. So this is where most people fail, and you have to commit to the niche. You must identify with your niche and your audience. You've got to become a part of that. It's got to become, a part of your value system, what you think is important, ideally problems and results that you've solved. You don't have to have experience in that niche. That's an important pointer, but you have to identify with it. You have to have a part of you that thinks this is an area that I want to work in. I know a lot of businesses who go into the fitness space because they love fitness, and it works because that's the market that they're going after. It's not enough to just say, well, I'm going to pick this market and then that's going to be the one that I'm going to work with. It can work, but you've got to identify with your audience and your niche. And this is how you start kind of crafting a niche, these kind of 6 areas. And if you go to sellyourservice.co.uk/108-niches, so 108-niches, it'll take you to like a plan where you can create all these different niches. But I'll also, I'll link it below. What are the product types do you love? Okay, this is what I'm talking about identifying with. What are the product types do you love? Do you like courses? Do you like books? Do you like furniture? Do you like splinter products? Do you like high ticket items? The products that you enjoy working with and that you resonate with are going to be more likely to attract you as to working in that niche. So let's say that you absolutely love coffee, and you like coffee cups and coffee mugs, and you decide that you want to help businesses that have their own line of coffee cups reach and find more customers. That's like a starting point. What have you struggled with? Have you struggled with email marketing, advertising, Facebook ads, Instagram, social media, creating landing pages, writing sales copy? Whatever you've struggled with is usually something that you find that you've overcome, and it's something that you're aware of. If you're aware of it, it's something you're learning about, and that's usually a good place to start focusing on to deliver that to your customers. Who can you help the most? You have to understand that, yes, there are loads of people out there that you can help, and I don't doubt that you could help every single person on the planet, but we don't have the time to do that. So we can either help 1% or we can help 0%. If we try to go after the world and help everyone in the world, 100% of the world, we won't make any change. But if we go after just 1% of the world and try to help the smallest possible viable market, you'll find that you will not be short of customers and revenue. There's also parts of the process that you enjoy. I love email marketing and email automation. I like lead generation. That's kind of where we got started. We also looked at kind of those initial like sales pages and generating those initial sales. That's the part of the process that I work on now. And obviously as a sales coach, closing deals is what I like to work on. Some people love advertising. Some people love driving traffic or creating content. They love the follow-up sequence. They love cart abandonment. There's so many parts of the overall marketing funnel process and journey that you could focus on and just deliver that to your customers. What does your ideal customer have or do? For example, in my case, my ideal customer runs a marketing funnel business. You might say that's an industry, but in many other cases, they are remote workers. They work in a co-working space. They might have 2 or 3 VAs or members of their team that also work remotely or in the same place as them. They're eager to learn more about sales. They understand sales. They like mindset coaching and motivational based coaching, and they read Jim Rohn and they listen to, Bob Proctor, and they're members of other masterminds. Your characteristics, the characteristics of your customers are vital. Some people have called those like customer avatars in the past, or identifiers, whatever you want to call it. What does your ideal customer have already or do already? Maybe they're already spending money on marketing. Maybe they already spend money on online learning or coaching or education. What are the indicators that if someone spends money in this area, they're probably going to spend money with me as well? And finally, how do they help their customers? This is a really interesting point. Maybe the businesses that you want to work with help their customers save more money, or help their customers lose weight, or help their customers find vegan options when traveling. What is it that your customers help their customers do? That kind of second level. We call that grandchildren customers or grand customers. What do your grand customers get from working with your customers? This is a really interesting area as well, because usually a business that helps their customers, develop better graphic design, you're going to be interested in that if you already are interested in graphic design. So it kind of comes back to what you've struggled with and what you identify with. You become number one at something that you create. If you create it overnight, you become number one at it because no one else is going for number two and no one else has thought of it before. It's kind of like the Guinness World Records now, where people run backwards with a milk bottle on their head because they're the first person to do it, so no one else is going to go after it. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create our own world records, and this is how you find massive, massive levels of growth, by being specific. Some ideas, for example, that I just wrote out. Now, we obviously have a full course, the Funnel Business Game Plan, which I'll link below, which talks you through how to create a niche for your business, how to dominate it, how to create a niche for your marketing funnel business, and find something that works for you and go through that process. But some ideas here. We help businesses that want to sell splinter products to offset advertising costs. Very specific. They spend money on advertising and they want to create some splinter products and sell those splinter products to offset their advertising costs. Super specific, right? Not to do with the industry, but it's a part of the process that I love. We help software businesses reduce refunds. So you could even go more specific with this, like SaaS businesses or app-based businesses. You can play around with this. You can become as specific as you like. We help software businesses reduce refunds. There's a huge amount that you could do with refunds. When customers come in and say, look, I don't like this product, I want to get a refund, please. There are processes through email automation and marketing automation where you can reduce the refund process, and also just increasing engagement on the front end also reduces. So don't think of that one refund process as one action. There are huge parts either side of the marketing funnel that can reduce refunds that to anyone else would look like a standard marketing funnel, but you angle it as helping them reduce refunds. We help businesses that help their customers get fitter who need to sell more products via email. So if you have a fitness coaching company, or maybe you have a fitness product company, they help their customers get fitter. You're going to help them sell more products via email. Very specific, and it's a market that says we help businesses that help their customers get fitter who need to sell more products via email. That's a very specific mission statement that will attract a very specific type of customer. Or we help businesses who want to convert small product customers into high ticket event customers, not just even high ticket customers, high ticket event customers. What's your well-defined niche? Let me know if this video was useful. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your niche is. Remember, it's not small business, it's not service businesses, it's not solicitors, and it's not an industry or lawyers or whatever. What's your well-defined niche? Let me know in the comments below. If you thought this video was useful, I'd love to hear from you. Give this a share as well. If you thought this video was useful, please share it on Facebook. Just copy the link below or click the share button and send it out to your friends. That really helps me out. In the meantime, guys, thank you very much for listening. I'm Mike from Sell Your Service. I'll see you on the next video.